Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over my top 10 most carried affordable knives. All these knives are under the $100 price point. But before we get started, let's go what's in my pocket today. Of course, I had to have the Divo knife Fireball in the pocket. Yeah, this one has been hogging up some pocket time lately. If you didn't see this video, go check it out. The drop on these tentatively should be on October 17th unless something crazy happens. And if that's the case, I will let y'all know. I'm going to be dropping my full testing and review of it probably either the day before or the day of, one of the two. I haven't decided yet, unless there's one of the days you would like me to do that. But this was in my right pocket, and currently in my left pocket we have the Artisan Cutlery Wizard blinged out edition. Yeah, I had this in the pocket last night. We went out to dinner with some friends at some little fancy pants restaurant or something, and I had this one in the pocket. I thought it was only fitting. Just a stunning knife. I think the Kickstarter campaign is still alive for these. If it is, I will leave the link in the description. They have more affordable versions than this as well. All right, now let's get into the top 10 that I've carried over the month, and all these are great, I gotta admit. If you're interested in any of the ones I showed today, they will all be linked down in the description. They will probably be affiliate links, so if you want to help support what I do here on this channel, it helps me pay for my testing materials. That is so awesome, can't thank you enough. If not, no big deal. So let's get right into it. First, we have the Tenable Knives Prometheus. Tenable is a new sub-brand of concept knives, a more affordable brand, and this is my second Tenable knife, and so far, I've been pretty impressed for the price points. You can get it for either $49 in G10 or $59 like this one in micarta. Got pivot collars, excellent flipping action, beautiful utilitarian blade there. This is a DOCK design, and these are in 14C 28N steel. Beautiful raw stonewash finish. Yeah, overall, love it. You got a milled tie pocket clip. The action, nice. So yeah, this one's been a joy to use. I broke down a bunch of boxes with this the other day. And yeah, just a great one if you need to do some tip work. This is an excellent knife for that. The next two, I think, have been getting the most pocket time on the list. And the first is the Olitans G053. You have contoured G10 scales. And I've already had several Olitans knives that I've bought. And I really, really like Olitans. You know, for the value you get, it's pretty impressive. So you have a thumb stud deployer, great action. You have a highly versatile drop point blade. You have a full flat and a nice little top swedge up there. And this one is in 14C 28N steel. Perfect for my medium-sized hands. You have a crossbar lock, and it's perfectly dialed on my particular sample. And the best part about it is this knife right here is only 48 bucks. I think that is outstanding for 14C crossbar lock. Now it is tip up right hand carry only, which I think that's a huge miss being this is a crossbar lock, but you know, what can I do about that? And they even inset the clip into the frame along with countersink those screws. Excellent clip there. I don't know who makes Olitans knives, but yeah, they do a really good job with it. We reviewed the Remette Knives RT BEE premium version. Well, the new Remette RT BEE more budget side is an absolute banger as well. I love this one, but I understand, you know, it's not a cheap knife. It's a more premium version. And this right here is the answer to that. It's the exact same knife, except it's a liner lock instead of a frame lock, and then G10 stainless instead of the titanium. 14C blade. I do wish they would have done a raw stonewash finish here. I would have much preferred that. It looks like a bead blasted finish. I haven't had any issues yet with corrosion, but I will let y'all know. I've been carrying it a good bit. Sweated on it a few times. Nothing yet, but you know, I'm very weary of a bead blast. Especially, you know, 14C is a pretty corrosion resistant steel, but I've had several Kershaws with the heavy blasts like that have rusted on me pretty bad. So we'll wait and see if I do find any. This one's tip up right hand carry only because it has toothpick that's in there, and this thing is in there, man. Just listen. Well, it makes a pretty audible sound on the way out. Now, it does have the same issue as the premium one. Because of the flipper tab, you don't have a whole lot of grip area from here to here. My medium-sized hands, I can still get a full 4-finger grip, and if I want, I can kind of cheat up on there, but this is more of a large sharpening tool, so you'd have to be very careful. But I love that versatile blade there. You have just the right amount of belly to make cuts on a flat cutting surface. The drag cuts are going to be beautiful. A great mix between a utilitarian blade and a versatile blade that's pretty good at anything. The flipping action is outstanding because it's above that pivot. You got tons of momentum. All you do is pull back on that thing and it rockets out. So they nailed it with this one. The Real Steel PERIX. I love the overall profile. This thing weighs absolutely nothing because it's got micarta scales that are nice and thick. And then instead of having an open back construction, you have the fold over construction. So the liners is a folded over piece of stainless that are inset, and it's like partial liners, heavily skeletonized. So it brings down the weight a lot on these, and it makes it a lot more comfortable being that this isn't open whenever I'm squeezing down on it. I think it's a 3.5-inch blade. Love that blade. Beautiful action. The only thing I wish they would have strengthened up the springs on the Omega springs on this one. It's a little light. It's not a deal breaker for me. I could always flex them out and make it a little bit stronger. I'll probably have some that would fit this. I don't know. But the action's great. Of course, it's on bearings. And what surprised me about this one, besides it being so lightweight, is I did the testing on this one the other day. I was blown away. This one's in Nitro-V. It came with one of the best edges I've gotten from Real Steel ever. And yeah, y'all wait and see. I'll try to drop a review on this pretty soon. Next up, we have the new CJRB Hectare Alt. Of course, I don't like this at all. The carbon fiber G10 laminate. Now, it does lighten this thing up a good bit. It's got beautiful action, and it's a Hectare with I think they call it a Warncliffe blade of the RPM 9 steel. I love the Hectare. I have found one benefit over this one, over the original, is that being that the original has the blade hole, thumb deploying is very hard because it's not really accessible all that much. You can do it, you can slow roll it, and even the reverse flick, the hole's not open enough. But on this one, being that they went with a thumb stud, I can easily thumb flick it. I can reverse flick it. I can use that crossbar. So yeah, I think I'm on this particular knife. I think I would like to see this one done with a thumb stud as well, because I love the Hectare. It's a good performer, and I love the versatility of the blade shape on the original. So y'all let me know what y'all think about the new Hectare. Now, I'm gonna link these. And at first, when you see the price I think is like 60-something bucks, but there's a 25% off discount code on the Alt Hectare, and it comes out to 55 bucks. So we have the Real Steel Serenity front flipper. Now, they do make one that is a slip joint as well. It has contoured, shadowed box, denim micarta on this one. Nice and grippy, nice and comfortable. It's a crown backspacer. And see how they polished the liners? Well, I'm going to show you something in just a second. Now, it didn't come with this. This is one of those quick studs. I'll link these down below as well. And if it wouldn't be for the quick stud, I probably wouldn't carry this one because I'm not a huge front flipper fan. Now, the front flipper works good, but man, I love that thumb action on this one. And then whenever I'm using it, I can use that as like a ramp to push down on, or I can go past it if I need to. I love the blade on this one. You got a harpoon drop point on this, or I don't know, I guess they could call it a clip point. It doesn't matter. Top swedge, full flat grind, but they did go with like a bead blast. It looks like maybe a tumble finish over it. Now this one's in N690, deep carry reversible pocket clip. I think this is a Ivan Bregenitz maybe. I just love the overall profile of this knife. I think it's a very attractive looking knife. You still have a versatile blade there. I can get that tip down on the things if I need to. Piercing's great. My biggest complaint is it's front flipper only, and even bigger than that, the access to the lock bar, you can see you have this little bitty cutout here, which, you know, normally that would probably be okay, but this is polished, so it's slippery. So if I don't use this portion of my thumb, it's very uncomfortable for me to try to use that because you end up sliding over the top where this part's real skinny and it's not the most comfortable. But using this, no problem whatsoever. So that's why I continue to carry it. I like the profile. It's a pretty darn good slicer. Yeah, Let me know what y'all think about this one. And that is the new Kizer drop bear with the inset partial liners that are heavily skeletonized. The Nitro-V blade. This thing is a featherweight. I mean, when I say super lightweight, it's because of those partial liners in there that, I mean, hopefully you can see that's all skeletonized right there. The action, of course, is great. It's got the clutch lock. Now, you can flex these a little bit, but I've been using this a good bit, and it's fine. It's not breaking on me or anything. I mean, I've squeezed down on these as tight as I could. I haven't broken them. Now, I'm sure if you were trying to on purpose, then yeah, you could. But if you're looking for a super lightweight, the most affordable drop bear I think they have, it's coming in at $69, I think it is. And I'm pretty sure that's the most affordable. I think maybe the clear Lexan ones are the same price. I'm not sure, but I don't know if the Lexan is as light as this one. Next one's probably the biggest knife on this list. It's not that big, but we have the Holtzman Gorilla Survival Knife. They don't name their knives, so the one that comes with the snake knot and the gorilla bead. I love the overall profile of this one. It's comfortable in hand. D2 steel, I'm fine with because I've tested a good bit of Holtzman's knives so far, and they do a good job. They perform well. They're well-built stuff. I don't know who makes their stuff, but it's well-built. That's all I can say. Great action on this one. You got a front flipper, blade hole that just works phenomenal. And it's a nice full-size EDC knife. If you compare it up against the Ontario Rat 1, you can see it's just a little bit shorter than the Rat 1. Rat 1's a nice full-size knife. My biggest complaint on this one is D2 steel, and they have a bead blasted finish on this, it looks like. So I'm really worried about this one rusting on me. I've been trying not to carry it as much when I'm sweating a lot. So we'll see. I think if you're worried about that, I'm pretty certain there's one with a black wash blade, so you wouldn't have to worry about the corrosion as much as this one. This one's also tip up right hand carry only as well. This next one I reviewed recently, and I've been using this one probably the most out of all these. Not carrying as much as some of these, but using it the most. And that is the new Sencut Cybrix. And one of the reasons why I'm using it as much is because I've been playing with the edge angles on the Sencut. And I started out, after the testing, I started out with a 17-degree bevel on it, and it didn't fare too well doing some testing with it. So I've now came up 1.5 degrees to 18.5. And that might be the sweet spot for the 9CR, at least in my opinion on the things I cut. This thing is so sticky sharp. I leave a nice toothy edge on it. Yeah. I've enjoyed this one, you know. I don't do a whole lot of hard pushing cuts. I just don't have anything like that I really need to cut besides testing videos. So yeah, it's performing great for that. And once I drop that edge angle, talk about a slicing machine. Yeah. Just an outstanding value in my opinion. And that is the Miguron Galaty. Miguron's just killing it. It's just such a high value knife for what you're getting. You got nice contouring on the tie scale, so they didn't cheap it out by going flat. Nice and grippy micarta. You have flipper tab that works great. And you have a thumb hole that works great. You have a very versatile low tip drop point. So I prefer this blade shape over the Mayoral, even though I like the Mayoral a lot. This one has that lower tip, so I can use that tip. The Mayoral is a little bit higher. It's a little bit harder to use the tip to do detail work, so it's not as versatile as this one. 14C 28M blade, nice grippy jimping up top. And I have a medium-sized hand, and I still have a little bit left over, so large hand should be able to fit. If I wanted to, I could kind of choke up. It's more of like a large sharpening choil. Nice smooth action. Now it is tip up, right hand carry only, but you do get a milled titanium pocket clip. And this is usually the clip I can't stand, but I think it's more for any of the knives that have texture. It just doesn't have as much room, and it doesn't flex as good as the other one. But on the budget knives, I don't know if it's maybe thinned out a little bit, but this one performs pretty darn good. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Here's another shot of all of them in the open position. Remember, if any of these interest you, check the links below. I usually have them all timestamped, just in case you don't know what's what. You can click on that timestamp and it'll take you to that part of the video. We got some really awesome budget knives. I have been enjoying every single one of these. Sometimes budget knives get pushed off to the wayside because I carry a lot of my premium stuff. It just makes more sense. But I love them all, and these have been getting a lot of pocket time, kicking some of the premium knives out of the pocket for the week. So, yeah, hopefully the budget stuff keeps getting better and better like they are. If you have any questions about anything in particular, feel free to ask me down below. I'll do my best to get back with you. Hope every one of y'all is having an absolute amazing Saturday. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.